I want it. And I want it right now, goddammit. That is roughly how I felt when I started out as a musician. I want the show with 1,000 people. I want the album to sell out. I want immediate gratification for my art. I want it right now. And the lesson I learned in doing that and seeing a lot of bands, there was this thing, I think it was called like First Albumitis or something like that. A band would get together, they'd make an album, they release it, and they'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Now what? And then they just break up. And they would break up, and then that would be that. Because what would happen is, at least in this town, in Minneapolis, you would go to a CD manufacturer, and the minimum you can make is 1,000 CDs. And you make 1,000 CDs, you throw your show. Well, not everybody's buying a damn album. So now you got 850 albums left over. What do? You have a box of albums staring back at you, reminding you of your failure. And it's tough because you put meaning into that, and you put all sorts of different stories behind it. Why didn't we sell those? Why are they still sitting there? Every day they're sitting there, and I'm not doing something about it. And it's tough. The thing that I've learned from those moments of being an early musician, an early artist, is that it's gradual. And you have to trust in whatever higher power or consciousness or process that you believe in, that it will unfold for you. The longer that you put yourself in a position to have the possibility, the more opportunities you will have to act. And when you see the opportunities and pass them up, it's fine. You're going to recognize them more and more. And you're going to say, oh, yeah, I should actually take that person up on that. Oh, actually, I can't do this alone. I should really get that person's help on this. And you'll start to recognize it more and more. There's a friend of mine, not even a friend, he's not even an acquaintance. He's actually a spoken word artist that I have looked up to my entire life. So he's really, I would say, an icon. He's an influence, and he's somebody I look up to. He's one of my heroes, actually. And I remember seeing him in the coffee shop, and he was like in his mid-30s or late 30s, and I was like, hey man, he's like, hey, what's up? I was like, you've been doing spoken word for a long time. How do you keep it going? Because poetry doesn't pay that much. Slam poetry doesn't pay that much. It can, but it's not just something people get into to make a living out of. And he said, well, Toussaint, what's going to happen is, you've been writing for a while, you've been doing your thing, you've been an artist, and you have a lot of people around you that are artists. And I was like, yeah. He's like, what's going to happen is half of those people are going to leave. And then you'll see them, get jobs or, have families, or, not to say that they can't have a job, can't have a family and do art, but their time will divvy out, and the art will become less of their career and more just a hobby, and they'll fall off, and that's fine, and you'll keep trekking along, going about your business, and then you'll notice half of the people that are there will fall off as well. So now you got a few friends that still do this craft, and next thing you know, it'll be 5 or 6 years later, you're still doing it, and you're the last person in your circle that's still doing it. And that's what he told me that he realized. And it wasn't any conscious noticing of like, oh, hey, they fell off. Oh, hey, they fell off. I'm going to keep going. It just was. And when you realize that the process is gradual, and it's only going to be gradual, even if you have an overnight success, there's still a gradual process to have after that. You then start to engage with the narrative of your process as an artist a lot more effectively, in my opinion, than you would expecting immediate gratification. And in the immediacy of it, from my experience, I've seen a lot of musicians like overnight success. Oh, they're on the cover of the city pages. Oh, damn, they got picked to click by the local publication. Oh, they're headlining at First Ave. Oh, snap. It doesn't come without another gradual process afterwards, because once you finish that chapter, then the question comes, okay, now what? Now what? Where's the next one? How are you going to sustain your participation in your craft? And is it only distinguished by large success? You know, by selling out a venue, by getting 1 million views on YouTube? Is it only distinguished by that? Because once it's done, you're still there, and the process is still going. It's still going. And so, for me, immediate versus gradual, it's important to make that distinction, and also to be aware of it when it's not when it's happening, because it's happening all the time, but it's important to have that distinction all the time, and to be aware of it in your career as an artist, because something may be unfolding for you right now, you just don't know it. But if you put yourself in the position to receive that opportunity, then there's no way you can lose. As long as you are constantly putting yourself in a position to receive the opportunity, then it'll happen, you'll get it. And it kind of ties into, if you stay ready, you never have to get ready. And that's the way that I've chose to conduct myself as an artist, and that doesn't come without sacrifice and mitigating sacrifice as well. I mean, there was a time where I thought that I had to just be writing every day for 5-6 hours a day, and sometimes I do that, and sometimes I don't have to do that. When you do that, you start to write off a lot of people, and you only have time for yourself, and that turns into a whole nother conversation. But it's kind of figuring out who you are as an artist and where your time and energy is best served in the gradual process of things. And so I hope this video was of some use to you. If you want to join my next project, go to patreon.com/Toussaint Morrison. And if you have any questions that I would love to cover, just shoot me some questions. This is like the initial initial run of vlogs. And so whatever comments you put in the comment section, I will answer them. So thanks so much for watching. Love y'all. See you later.